Well, I don't know why in any instance you'd want to do, voltage instead of current. That's the reason for that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, there's probably, you know what the best place to find a way better answer get on the W4RNL, LB Seebick. Unfortunately, he's a silent T, but his web publication is still on the air, or on the internet, and that man was a freaking genius. When it came to antennas, he was the main man, Malin, tuners, all of that. It's all covered on his website. And he explains the differences between a voltage and a current balance a lot more in depth with mathematical formulas. Imagine that.
Yeah, real engineering type guy, huh? What's the name of the site again? I'll write that down.
Lima Bravo Seebick. And I believe it's spelled Charlie Echo Bravo India Charlie or Kilo at the end. But if his call was W4RNL, you do a Google search for that and you will find it.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to do just that.
That is literally a treasure trove of antenna, tuner, and balance information. That man, he was a freaking, he was an engineer's engineer.
Used to live in Knoxville, Tennessee, I see.
Yeah, that dude forgot more about antennas than any 100 of us will ever know. A lot of old-timers, I'm talking hams from way back in the day, they would put an RF current meter on each leg of their ladder line. And they could tell, well, ladder line, I say ladder line, I'm talking, this was the open wire feed days, so they made their own. It was 600 ohms. But they could check line balance that way. If you saw more current, RF current, on one leg than another, you know your antenna is out of balance, which means that you got common mode, RF and shack.
Yeah, it's unbalanced. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know if I would enjoy it. Who knows? I would have enjoyed ham radio so much back in the day. Like nowadays, you know.
Well, I get the nostalgia. I understand running the old speed radios is cool and all that. I get that. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think that's a cool part of the hobby. But I like to compare it to classic cars. Let's say you found a Model A Ford at a farmer's barn, and the thing was mint shape. And you did a little work to it, and cleaned it up, and you got it running. The thing runs and drives great. Sure, it's fun to putt around on the weekends and take it around town, what have you. You damn sure wouldn't want to drive to California in that thing, would you?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, man, there is a lot of information on this site. Holy smoke.
That is the best antenna site I have ever found anywhere on the internet. Read all the pages on that site and you will become a genius.
Yeah, all one has to do is remember all that.
There's a lot of knowledge and he, of course, he did that over the course. I imagine he had that site up for quite a few years. But man, that was a brilliant dude. Well, I wonder if I dare try. 4 SXMG over there in Planet E. WR4AB call. Oh, good.
I was just thinking of too many T's, Tom. It used to be funny when he'd talk and ask a question or something, and then he'd answer his own question, which would bring on another question, or which he'd answer, and he'd do all that in like 6-minute key downs. I used to sometimes just sit back and laugh.
Smart guy. Do a lot about antennas, amps, and all that. He posed a question like, wonder what would happen if you had this kind of antenna with this kind of ladder line or whatever. Then he'd say, oh yeah, I tried that once, and he'd go into a 5-minute story, and then he would unkey, and then he'd key back up again and add to it.
Yeah, it used to be funny sometimes to listen to him rattle there for a while. He'd have a 10-minute dissertation with himself.
You hear people keeping up on her and going, repeater, time out.
Yep.
I remember he got out here one night and he was talking about Peter, they used to talk it. He used to find it out.
Surprise, right?
I can just imagine that.
Yeah, I ran into him a few times at Hamfest and that. And I think the last time I seen him was probably just a couple months before he passed away. I think I ran into him. I can't remember if it was the Tampa Club Hamfest or one here in Plant City. I can't remember, but I ran into him in a couple of those.
Weird part about it, Rick, I talked to the man for probably 20 years. I never met him.
Yeah, I like that with a lot of people.
Well, Dennis has been in Georgia before BII. I knew him before both of us got Hamlin. We used to talk to each other on the combat band on single side band. He lived up in Ocala at the time, and he had this big monster Yagi antenna. And he wanted to go to Orlando, and we could talk to him like we were just from town. I've known him for like 30 years, 30 plus years. Never met him one time.
That's funny. Yeah, I played combat band from the late 70s when it became popular. Yeah, and me and my buddies from high school got into it. until about 1985 or 86. You know, I got into ham radio then. I put away, I stayed on it for a little while, because I do a lot of people on it. But I basically put it away after a few years of ham radio. But, yeah, I had a 3-element Yagio, and a big old amplifier. It was about a kW's worth of power. And I had a radio tram that just was awesome. It put out some audio, I mean, lots of audio if you wanted it to, and all that good stuff. Well, I had a decent sound of radio back then. And I enjoyed it when I enjoyed it. It was real popular then. And I got about 30 friends out of that thing, you know, mostly for years and years and years. Well, now most of them are gone. So, but yeah, at the time it was something to do.
Oh yeah, I can't say anything bad about that hobby. I enjoyed it for many years. Met a lot of people on there, literally hundreds of people, and I had a good time with it. It was fun. It was, it was limited, and the equipment and this frequency ability were limited, but it's still, heck, I talked all over the world on that band and had a lot of fun doing it. But eventually, got a ticket and moved onward.
Yeah, same here. This is KE9VS, Tampa, Florida, in case anyone really cares.
WR4AD, there's all the Badgers of fame. They're still shoveling.
Today I was playing, digging post holes and such. I'm putting new porch at the front of the house. Like I said, I already did the side porch, and then I did a deck and back by the pool, from the house to the pool, but I didn't do anything with the front one yet. So I just stuff that was here when I moved in. It really needs to go. Slowly getting rid of it all. The old hurricane repair stuff stopped doing much around here for a long time, but that's all over. It's all supposed to be back. I gotta get to that. Today I dug a hole, got it, took a first post in the concrete, and it started raining like one of those stuff. Oh man, I looked at the radar, there was a line coming right out. It was here about 20 minutes later, so I had to put everything away and give it up. I was like, where's this sunshine they keep telling me about? I don't need this rain right now.
Not much rain. We could actually use some. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Everything's drying out.
Yeah, I would. Same here. It rained for not long, but just long enough to soak everything down. I didn't look at the rain gauge to see what we got. But you know, we got tomatoes and onions and things like peppers growing here right now. So we me and her like to see when it rains. You know, that stuff could use the natural water versus watering it with well water.
The well water probably isn't too bad. If I had a garden over here, it would probably wouldn't be so hot. Good water, because you can't get water.
Because I have a water softener and filter system and all that going on, but I water, straight from the well. I don't use water that the softener and all that's gone through already, so it only gets straight well water, so it works out pretty good. Yeah, that's chlorine and fluoride and God knows what else is in there. Probably wouldn't be too good for it at all.